Somewhere right now, a dog is waiting in an empty house. Its owner died this morning. The dog doesn't know that, but it knows. It follows the scent of the bed. It watches the front door at every sound. It hasn't touched its food, and it waits. In Edinburgh in 1858, there was such a dog. In Tokyo in 1925, there was such a dog. 2,800 years ago, on an island in the Aegean, there was such a dog. Same animal, different century, same waiting. By the end of this video, I'm going to ask you a question, and the answer will surprise you. Because for 3,000 years, we've been telling this story from the wrong direction. Think about the concept of loyalty. We've assigned it to dogs. They are faithful, they wait, they don't forget, they belong to us. The oldest version of this story is 3,000 years old. Homer wrote it. Then an echo in Edinburgh. Then an echo in Tokyo. Then cinema, then literature, then popular culture. The concept has flowed in one direction the whole time. The dog waits for the human. The dog dies for the human. The dog makes the human's return the meaning of its life. But what about the reverse? Could a human make a dog's return the meaning of their life? When a dog dies, what actually happens inside its owner? Homer didn't ask this question. The people who wrote about Hachikō didn't ask it. But in the last 20 years, medical doctors started measuring, and the answer reversed the direction we were used to telling. 3,000 years ago, an island in the Aegean Sea, Ithaca. A warrior returns home after 20 years. His name is Odysseus. The Trojan War is over, and the sea has held him back for a decade after that. Now he arrives at his own gate disguised as a beggar. His wife Penelope doesn't recognize him. His son Telemachus doesn't recognize him. The servants don't recognize him. But an old dog lies at the gate. His name is Argos. Odysseus had left him as a puppy. Now the dog is aged, sick, his eyes full of flies, lying in filth, uncared for. As Odysseus passes, dressed as a beggar, unrecognized by anyone in his own house, Argos lifts his head. He wags his tail, his ears drop. He recognizes his master's voice 20 years later. Homer wrote the next line. The darkness of death closed over Argos's eyes. In the very moment he saw his master again, he died. And beside it, one of the loneliest sentences Homer ever wrote. Odysseus turned his face away so no one would see him weep. That's a literary scene. Homer might have invented it. It might never have happened. But this next scene did happen. Historians have verified it. There are photographs. 1924, Tokyo. Professor Hidesaburo Ueno of the Agriculture Department at Tokyo Imperial University brings a puppy down from the northern Akita prefecture. They name him Hachikō, an Akita. Every morning, as Professor Ueno leaves for work, Hachikō walks with him to Shibuya Station. Every evening at 3 o'clock, Hachikō waits at the station to greet the professor stepping off the train. May 21st, 1925. Professor Ueno suffers a cerebral hemorrhage during a faculty meeting at the university. He doesn't come home that day. He will never come home. Hachikō goes to Shibuya Station that evening. He waits. The professor's train arrives. The professor doesn't step off it. Hachikō goes again the next day. He waits. The day after. The day after. For 9 years and 9 months, Hachikō goes to Shibuya Station every evening at 3 o'clock. He waits for Professor Ueno to step off the train. In rain, in snow, in heat, in winter. Station workers, vendors, commuters, they all come to know him. Over the years, he grows thin. His hind legs weaken. His ear droops. He gets skin diseases. But he keeps coming. March 8, 1935. Hachikō is found dead on a street near Shibuya Station. Still waiting. His ashes are buried at Aoyama Cemetery next to Professor Ueno's grave. So there's your 3,000-year story, from Argos to Hachikō. The same pattern. The loyal dog waits for its owner. It waits. But did you notice? Neither dog died immediately. Argos waited 20 years for Odysseus. Hachikō waited 9 years and 9 months. Loyalty didn't kill them. It kept them alive. It gave them something to do. So what about the other direction? When a dog dies, what happens inside its owner? Just grief? Just emptiness? Or something more concrete? Something measurable? In 2016, in Houston, Texas, a woman answered this question without meaning to. Her name is Joni Simpson, 61 years old. She had a 9-year-old Yorkshire Terrier named Maya. Maya had congestive heart failure. One day she died. In Simpson's own words, it was not a peaceful death. A few days later, Simpson wakes up with severe back pain. The pain moves into her chest. She goes to her local emergency room. Doctors think she's having a heart attack. She's airlifted to the Memorial Hermann Heart and Vascular Institute in Houston. There, Dr. Abhijit Doble and Dr. Abhishek Maiti receive her. They expect a heart attack. They thread a catheter into her chest to view her coronary arteries. The arteries are clean, no blockage, no coronary disease, but her left ventricle, the main pumping chamber of her heart, isn't working. The muscle has ballooned outward. It can't contract. This isn't a heart attack. It's something else. The diagnosis, Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. The common name, broken heart syndrome. In Japanese, Takotsubo means octopus trap. In this condition, the left ventricle bulges into the exact shape of one. Extreme emotional stress spikes adrenaline and cortisol so violently that the heart muscle temporarily seizes. It's as if the heart exhausts itself in a single beat. Simpson's case was published in October 2017 in the world's most prestigious medical journal, the New England Journal of Medicine. The doctors wrote it plainly. The trigger was the death of the dog, Maya. Simpson stayed 2 days in the hospital. She took an ACE inhibitor and a beta blocker. She recovered fully. But 2% of Takotsubo cases end in death. The syndrome is real, and it kills. Simpson could have been part of that 2% because a Yorkshire Terrier died. Now go back and remember Argos, the dog who waited 20 years for his master in Ithaca. The first time you heard that story, you probably listened to it as a loyalty tale. Dog loves master. Dog waits for master. Dog dies for master. That's what Homer wrote. But now, here's a question. If Odysseus had never come home and Argos had died anyway, 20 years later, who else would have died? Maybe his wife. Maybe his son. Maybe, as science is only now learning, there was something inside Odysseus's own heart that could have broken too. For 3,000 years, we told these stories, but we only noticed one direction. Dogs die for us. We repeated it like a cultural law. But science is measuring something new. We can die for them too, not just metaphorically, in the muscle, in the heart, provably, measurably, sometimes fatally. Loyalty was never a one-way flow. It was always both ways. We just hadn't noticed our side of it, hadn't measured it, hadn't told the story. The triggers vary. The loss of a spouse, the loss of a child, financial catastrophe, natural disaster. And an increasingly documented trigger, the death of a pet. Dr. Ilan Wittstein, a cardiologist at Johns Hopkins, who has spent his career studying broken heart syndrome, has said openly he's seen many patients arrive at his hospital with this diagnosis after losing a pet. These patients weren't just grieving, their bodies were shutting down. Think about what that statistic actually means. In a society, one human lives with one dog. The dog becomes the human's waiting one, their emotional center of gravity. Then the dog dies, and the human, biologically, literally, is put in danger by that death. This is not the opposite of the Argos story. This is the other half of the same story. Homer couldn't have known any of this. There was no New England Journal of Medicine. There was no cardiology, no syndrome named after an octopus trap. But he still wrote that line. Odysseus turned his face away so no one would see him weep. What Homer witnessed 3,000 years ago is what Joni Simpson felt for Mia in 2016. Same system, same body, same biology. A human lives 30 years with a dog. They sleep beside each other. They walk beside each other. They grow old beside each other. And then the dog dies. And inside the human, something measurable breaks. For Homer's old soldier, what broke wasn't only the heart broke too. Loyalty was from the beginning both ways. But don't let that frighten you. The fact that a dog's death can break your heart isn't a warning. It's proof. Proof of how real the bond was. You share something with your dog so deep that even your body knows it. Even your heart keeps the record. And that isn't something to fear. It's the surest sign you ever loved something that loved you back.